I have a theory that celebrities are not real people. Once you get to a certain level of wealth and fame, you stop relating to the rest of the world, and there's no going back. In reality, you're in it for the money, except you convince yourself that you're more important than you actually are. And your entire existence becomes weird and uncanny to anyone that follows you. Right now, there's a viral video floating around of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apologizing for sending letters on behalf of co-star and Scientologist Danny Masterson. For those of you who don't know, Danny Masterson has been a part of an ongoing investigation since 2017 when he was accused of sexual misconduct. 3 women, including his girlfriend at the time, accused him of rape at the height of his career between 2001 and 2003. He was convicted on 2 accounts of plying 2 women with drugs and raping them. In March 2017, 3 women came forward and accused him. In December of 2017, the 4th woman came forward, and a few weeks later, the 5th. Additionally, singer of Mars Volta alleged Masterson sexually assaulted his wife, Chrissy Carnell Bixler. In August of 2019, 4 of the 5 women filed a lawsuit against Danny Masterson and the Church of Scientology. Masterson was charged with raping a 23-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 23-year-old. 3 different counts. On January 21st, 2021, Danny Masterson pled not guilty. On November 30th, 2022, the jury was considered deadlocked and the judge ruled a mistrial. Just a week ago, on September 7th, Danny Masterson was sentenced to an indefinite period of 30 years to life in prison. And apparently, lawyers say they will appeal conviction following a number of evidentiary and constitutional issues. All of this to say that Danny Masterson is probably going away for a long, long time. So where does Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis fit into all of this? Well, considering they grew up together and were co-stars for a very, very popular show, good old Ashton, God, that name is just... it's hard to get off the tongue. Ashton and Mila wrote letters of character to the judge overlooking the case. Now, I didn't know this, but apparently that's a thing you can do. Letters of character are written by friends, family, and other associates as a point of reference to talk about a person's character, because perhaps maybe that can sway the judge's opinion or at least add more context to what type of person they are. So good old Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, co-stars of Danny Masterson, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, wrote these letters with the intent of clearing Danny Masterson's name, or at least vouching for him. You know, Danny's such a good person. I consider him a brother. He's like a father figure to our children. And these letters were sent to Superior Court Judge Charlene Olmedo. I don't know. According to Vox and a bunch of other articles, in their character letters, Kunis and Kutcher describe Masterson as an older brother figure, a father, and a staunchly anti-drug presence who has only ever been a positive influence in their lives. Now, of course, this may be true, but that doesn't excuse all the allegations against him. This played out as follows. Danny Masterson was officially charged by 3 women in 2020, but because there was a mistrial in 2022, they had to schedule a new trial. During the second trial, 3 main pieces of evidence were brought up that eventually got Danny prosecuted. And interestingly enough, they stem from Danny Masterson and his victims' involvement with Scientology. I think it's important to note that the victims have since left the Church of Scientology, while Danny Masterson is still considered a high-ranking member, and in some descriptions, untouchable. You see, Scientology is meticulously compartmentalized according to your rank, and they have something called the OSA, or the Office of Special Affairs. It was previously named the Guardian's Office. The OSA is quite literally the church's very own intelligence agency. They are responsible for recording, controlling, and overseeing almost every operation within the church. This allows them to handle disputes privately and skirt around almost every constitutional law. For whatever reason, it seems impossible for for the US government to bring the hammer down on Scientology. With that being said, the three main pieces of evidence that are pretty damning in my opinion are Scientology OSA reports detailing the accounts of the victims on behalf of Danny Masterson. This means that the victims literally went into the Church of Scientology and told their superiors of what happened, and this is recorded. It's like this checks and balances power system where everyone within the church is expected to snitch on each other, no matter how heinous or simple the misdeed is. Number two, $400,000 of hush money was sent from Danny Masterson to a victim. Once again, recorded. And this is evidence brought within the court. And this hush money was sent, obviously, under the pretense that the victim would never speak of Danny Masterson and him committing this act on them ever again. Number three, Chrissy Carnell Bixler, who is allegedly one of Danny's victims, posted this with her husband on Instagram. I'm at the vet dealing with another hurt animal. This is what I've been finding in my front and backyard. This is what Scientology does when you speak about the predators they protect. That is raw meat, and inside of it is rat poison. So yeah, Scientology will stop at nothing to fuck people over. They have done this in the past, where they kill people's pets. And this was posted on January 21st, 2020. And this is the second time this has happened to their pet, meaning they already lost a dog to this. 74 weeks ago, they commented in response to another commenter, "Our first pet was killed, and this was our second one. She bled out of her nose from her lungs. My kids have not been the same since this happened." At first, Netflix didn't really think much of the allegations and continued to have Danny Masterson perform in movies and shows. In 2017, they changed their mind and dropped him. He was also dropped from United Talent Agency, and the downward spiral began. So after the guilty verdict, everyone started coming after Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for their letters that they sent on his behalf, vouching for their boy. And I swear it's like a humiliation competition because the bar is just getting set higher and higher for the worst apology videos ever. Apology videos in general don't matter. I'm sorry. They just don't. Nobody needs them. Nobody asks for them. I don't know why they're a thing. If we're being honest, the celebrities don't give a fuck. And me as a viewer, I'm not asking for it. I also don't care. I'm not sitting here like morally grandstanding, like thinking as if, I gotta hear a celebrity apologize. I don't think twice about these people. These celebrities should apologize for their actions. That's asking way too much. We already know that. They are reptilian, and every so often the mask slips. Nobody benefits from apology videos. It just allows the public to hate the rich and famous more. Shells of human beings, NPCs, and bots. That's who they are.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
Beep boop zeep zorp, I am not a robot. I mean, I guess Ashton is kinda coming across as semi-genuine if you're to look at this objectively speaking without my third eye bias. Mila Kunis, on the other hand, that is pre-selected dialogue. Pick one of 4 options and you get this.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system.
Dude, she comes in like on cue. You can't make this up.
Or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or
I mean, you couldn't get more of a fucking cookie cutter apology video. I don't their PR firm must have been working overtime or not enough. Maybe they need a raise because what are we doing here? Nothing about that seemed sincere, genuine. Did they even have to apologize? That's the real question. The world would have still moved on. Danny would still go to jail. Sure, they wrote the letters. Oh, he was our boy back in the day. You just make yourself look like an ass. I'm being honest. If you look up to a celebrity and want to hold them accountable, you're lost. You're lost. Ashton asked a judge to consider a lesser sentence for his former co-star, whom he called a role model. He also said that he doesn't believe his friend, quote, is an ongoing harm to society, and argued that it would be a, quote, tertiary injustice for Danny's daughter to be, quote, raised without a present father. Oh, it just gets worse and worse. Just let the legal system do its thing, okay? And then you won't look like an ass defending, I don't know, a rapist. In Mila's letter, she said that she can, quote, wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Masterson's exceptional character and the tremendous positive influence he has had on me and the people around him. Elsewhere, she praised his, quote, dedication to leading a drug-free life and branded the convicted quote, an outstanding role model and friend. By far my favorite post associated with this entire debacle is from the subreddit There Was an Attempt to try to seem relatable for an apology video. I know their PR team told them to sit in front of an innocuous, normal person looking wall, but unfortunately for them, I have also watched their Architectural Digest house tour and know exactly where this was filmed. Yeah, it's funny, they're just sitting next to a weather-stained cedar wall. Meanwhile, it's like the entrance to their Garden of Eden. Like, these people are not normal people. The top comment says, everything about this video was extremely over the top and fake. No makeup, no accessories, no hairstyling, 5 o'clock shadow, plain t-shirts, very practiced, quote, we'll take turns speaking, concerned expression on their faces, no extravagant scenery in the background, and reading a lawyered script. Nothing worse than rich, entitled assholes pretending to be relatable, and that has 14,000 upvotes. And I'll leave you with one little last bit of cringe. Ashton Kutcher's Twitter bio. I build things, stories, companies, collaborations of thoughts, dreams, and believe in a future where we all have a right to pursue happiness. Hey, he gives me a phone number. Hello? Can I call Ashton right now? Yo, what's up, bro? There's no shot. Like, it's just all so fake. It's all a facade. These people want you to think they're like fucking curing cancer and solving the world. Yeah, Ashton Kutcher has a company called Thorn, and he advocates for, you know, child trafficking. Bro can't even have a normal apology video. What makes you think that, like, I'm gonna take anything he says seriously? I'm sorry, but it's just cringe. Why are all celebrities so weird? Like, it's across the board. Just say you're an actor. That's it. That's respectable enough. You're an actor who made millions of dollars. I believe in the collaboration of thoughts. I believe we all have a right to happiness. Yeah, okay. You can't even demonstrate a shred of humanity when it's needed most. What makes you think I'm gonna like you or respect you as a collaborator of thoughts? There's also this haunting clip from a Conan episode that aired 12/22/04 featuring Danny Masterson. It's creepy and eerie to say the least.
You know, Long Island accent that I can discern.
Not really. I've been in LA for like 10 years.
And it just goes away naturally, right?
It goes away naturally, and then there's also certain words that there's nothing you can do about. Like my friend Bodie Elfman, he always teases me and he says, "Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my balls?" You know, do an imitation of me, because certain words
why
you
are
just
you
can't get
asking
away
people
with.
to do that? That's the more important question.
I mean, you got them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Accent aside,
Everybody should grab.
That's the more important thing.
Exactly.
I've heard about you, and you'll be caught soon. I know you will.
I will.
That 70s show airs Wednesday nights at 8 on Fox. Thanks for making time for us.
Thanks for having me.
Danny Masterson.
It's also Hollywood, so it is very plausible that Conan was aware, or at least heard stories about Danny Masterson's predatory behavior in the early 2000s. Instead of this celebrity worship, you should join the Third Eye Global Patreon. There you'll get every single video early, as well as a behind-the-scenes look and access to our private Discord community, which is growing every single day. I hope to see you in there. Come say what's up. Yes, I am in there, and I am quite active. I talk to all the members on a regular basis.